wanted to have some music coming, so I'll sing instead.
D'un moment s'appelait Flora, elle me laissait moi son papa. Nous faisons les fils à l'école, à Batignolles. À Poussac comme un champignon, malgré l'herbe du fût d'agneau. Un soir en faisant la cabriole à Batignolles. Elle avait des
Muse to Toulouse-Lautrec, he used to throw his arms up and scream when she danced. He was so inspired by it. What's the story of this extraordinary woman? Where did she come from? Who is this man? This is Monsieur Charcot, who is a neurologist, or was a neurologist, who actually established the Salpêtrière Asylum. So what is the relationship between Jane Avril and the asylum into which she was incarcerated at the age of 15? Jane had a movement disorder known as Huntington's chorea, and this was possibly caused by the brutal treatment she had as a young child. I'll show you some images to do with where the brain damage might actually be located that can contribute to that illness. Monsieur Charcot, in his great advanced psychology at the time, incarcerated people for all sorts of reasons. They were poor, they were orphans, they had disorders that the culture at the time could not accommodate. In fact, he encouraged his inmates to perform their illnesses for the general public, who also contributed funds to keep his asylum continuing. There were measurements taken. Here is a prime example of what it is to perform one's mental illness, which this lady is doing very well. He even created something called the Bal à Folle, the Mad Women's Ball, the Mad Person's Ball, in which the inmates of the asylum were called to perform before an audience. Jane was known as an independent sort who would sit and watch and not subscribe to anybody's calculations about her abilities, who she was. She somehow managed to avoid being subjected to electroshock therapy, which was in its early phases, and in fact Charcot helped to develop the technique. She claimed that she was cured by dancing. At the Bal des Folles, she was magnetic. She was given the nickname La Milité, dynamite. Apparently the whole room just stopped and watched as she danced. Now the story of her being cured by dancing is possibly apocryphal, because it was at least 4 or 5 months after this claim that the cure occurred that she was released from Salpêtrière. Yet her fate could have been to end up on the streets, as did so many impoverished people. Her mother, by the way, was a courtesan, and her father was an aristocrat who disappeared. These sections of the brain could be understood to where violation of voluntary movement capacity might have been altered by the beatings she suffered as a child. In contemporary medicine, we now have more advanced methodologies, such as the fMRI, which you have a sample here, which understand that movement is not just about a particular electromagnetic impulse in the brain connecting to single parts of the body, but there's an interrelationship across all parts of the brain and all parts of the body. And hence, dancing, it could quite feasibly be a restorative practice because it reconnects those neural networks. Jane, in all her beauty, was loved by Toulouse-Lautrec. And what the remarkable thing to me in doing this research on the life of Jane Avril, it all began because I had a dream about dancing with Toulouse-Lautrec. And it was so invigorating that I contacted the National Gallery of Australia and said, I've got to create this. Actually, no, that's not the sequence. I had the dream. A week later, I found out that the National Gallery had a retrospective of Toulouse-Lautrec's paintings. So this information was coming to me from somewhere else. I contacted them and said, I've had this dream, this must happen. They said, yes, it happened. Talk to us in 3 months. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months went by, and I said, what about this dream? Talk to us another. It went on. Finally, my proposal was rejected even before I had articulated it. And I said, but it can't be rejected because I dreamt it. And when I actually got the chance to talk about what I had wanted to do, their jaws dropped and they said, oh, this must happen. So it did. So my performance, L'Optimisme, about the optimism that Jane somehow managed to carry through her very difficult life, became a performance during the Lighting Festival in 2013. And thanks to Liz Lee's had many iterations since at Dance Science and Bold. Now, what I wish to talk to today is the way that Jane was an extraordinary businesswoman and an astute person who managed her own life and how she wanted to be perceived. She could have, I'm just going ahead, she could have ended up on the streets, but in fact didn't have to succumb to the ministrations of certain gentlemen at the Moulin Rouge. She was in charge of her own life. But alongside that, it took the recognition of certain poets, writers, artists to actually recognise her exquisite beauty. And it was as if an internal drive manifested. And as you can see here from this quote, even when the orchestra stopped playing, she kept dancing. This is a photograph of Toulouse-Lautrec, who one might begin to understand where his compassion for Jane arose. They even swapped clothes, they were so close friends. But the beauty of the lines with which he drew her, and the deep acceptance, which to my mind is even more healing, or as healing as any medicinal practice. In this image here, which is very familiar to all of us, I'm sure, what I want to call attention to is the way that this is the chorus line, where everybody is meant to kick in the same direction. Well, guess whose legs are kicking in the other direction? And yet the rendering of the line is so exquisitely accepting. There is no judgment. It is observation, perception, acceptance, and they are all present in their beauty according to who they are and how they move. So, Aristide Bruant created a song which I'll sing a little bit of for you, where with his sense of irony, he also talks about the way that people perceived poverty, perceived streetwalkers. Sa maman s'appelait Flora, elle connaissait pas ton papa, tout le Romeo Bacchico la Batignole. I'm singing the wrong song. I should sing the other song. It's a problem when you talk and dance and sing at the same time. À son d'état, campus d'appart, et qui n'ont pas sous dans leur bas, pierreuse, trotteuse, asthmache le soir quand il fait noir. Sur le trottoir, les cheveux frisés, les riens brisés, les siens blasés, les pieds usés. Pierreuse, trotteuse, asthmache le soir quand il fait noir. Sur le trottoir, Christ, ô eau douce, qui mourent pour nous, chauffe la terre en ce qu'on fait leur pouce. This is a song about the streetwalkers with their broken backs, broken feet, the coldness of the pavement, and in the end, he says in that last phrase, Christ who died for us, cried for us, would all end up in the cold earth anyway. So, this conversation I'm having with you today is about the different perspectives on the same person. Thrown into an asylum, firstly rejected in her own childhood, succumbing to an illness which was not acceptable on the streets of Paris and Montmartre, thrown into an asylum, making her escape, becoming her own businesswoman, establishing her own dance, which was adored by so many. And as we see, recording of history gives honour to her. Now, what did she actually dance like? An imagining of how Jane might have danced. Evidence of